Hello everyone. So today's lesson is going to be a continuation of yesterday's lesson on multiplying polynomials. Yesterday we focused on multiplying a binomial with a binomial. Today we're going to just do any size polynomial. So n can be anything like 3 by 5, 2 by 2, any size polynomial with any size polynomial. Mainly we're going to look at trinomials with binomials and a trinomial with another trinomial. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. So this first one, we have x plus 7 all to the power of 2. This is a multiplication problem, so if you don't see it just yet, you'll see it in a second. So the idea is that this right here is equal to x plus 7 multiplied to itself twice. So that's what this means. So this is just a binomial times a binomial, which is just like the problems from yesterday. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to go ahead and put x plus 7 on the left and x plus 7 on the top. And from here, we just do the same thing we did yesterday. This first box represents the top times the left, which would be x times x. 2x's multiplied is x squared. The next box here is the 7 on the top and the x on the left. 7 and an x, or 7 times x, is 7x. The bottom one here, we look at the top, x times 7, which is still 7x. A number and a letter will always just be the number and the letter side by side. And the last box will have 7 on the top and 7 on the left, which is 7 times 7, which is 49. So we're going to go ahead and write out our answer. Again, this right here is our actual answer. The box itself is a guide for the multiplication. So we start off with the first term, x squared. That's my first piece of my answer. Then we go ahead and combine like terms, so we want to circle these. A positive 7x with another positive 7x is 14x. We combine like terms. And then the last piece, which is just our 49. And we just put it at the end, but we can't just put 49. We've got to put a sign, so we put plus 49. This right here is my final answer. And I'm done with number 1. So let's go ahead and move on to number 2 now. Here we have an example where we have a binomial by a trinomial. So a 2 binomial times a 3, which is a trinomial, which requires 6 multiplications. So our box gets a little bigger. So to accommodate, the left side has 2 for this side, and this way we have 3 for the other one. So binomial times a trinomial. So we set it up the same way, same idea. So y plus 5 goes on the left, and y squared, 2y, and 3 all go on the top. They each take a spot. So we're going to go ahead and start multiplying now. So again, first box here is what's on the top and on the left. So y times y squared. Remembering that if I were to multiply these, it's y times y squared, which really means y times 2 more y's, which is a total of 3y. So this would be y to the power of 3, or y cubed. For our next box, we look at the top and the left. 2y times y. So what is that going to give us? So we have 2y times another y. So again, we have y squared right there. So this would be 2y squared. Then for the last box here, do 3 times y, which would just be a letter and a number, 3 and y. Now we're going to go second row, and that one gets multiplied by 5. So first box is what's on the top and on the left. 5 times y squared is just 5y squared. Next box, we have top and left. 5 times 2y, and 5 times 2 is 10. And we put the letter y. And the last one, we have 3 times 5. That's going to give us 15 for that box. So we've done all the multiplication. Now we're going to write our answer and combine our like terms. So what is this all going to equal? So we start with our first term, y cubed. We write that down first. It doesn't combine with anything. It's the highest power. Then we circle these next two that are going to combine. 5 and 2y squared each. So that's 5 plus 2, which gives me 7y squared. Notice my power stays exactly the same. Nothing changed there. just the numbers in the front, the coefficient. Now I'm going to combine the 10y with the 3y. That's going to give me positive 13y. And then at the very end, I just have this 15. So I'm just going to stick it in the back of the polynomial, and I get positive 15. And this is my final answer. So I get a polynomial of 4 terms. All right, let's go ahead and do the last one. And the last one happens to be a trinomial times a trinomial. It's a 3 by 3. So 3 for the first one, by 3 for the next one. So I need 3 in this direction and 3 in that direction. So I need a bigger box because it's a bigger polynomial to multiply with another one. So let's go ahead and set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and put my x squared on the left, my 4x, and my 1. So these are the first polynomial I have here. All right, now we're going to set up the top polynomial with these guys here. So x squared, 5x, and minus 2. Now I'm just going to start doing all the multiplication and go from there. So x times x squared. X squared times x squared. Remember, that's x squared times x squared. That's 2x's multiplied to 2 more x's, which is a total of 4 x's being multiplied. Next box, 5x times x squared. So now I have 5. Again, there's 2 here and 1 there. That's a total of 3. So x cubed. And the last one is negative 2x squared. Now we're going to do the second row, multiplied by 4x, everything on the top. So 4x times x squared is going to be 4x to the power of, again, I have 2 here and 1 there. That's going to be a total of 3. Next one, 4 times 5, 20. X on the left, x on the right, on the top. So it's x squared. And the very last one, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And there's only one x. There's no x's here. So it's just a single x in my box. Last one, they're getting multiplied by 1. So they're going to say pretty much the same. 1 times x squared is 1x squared. I'll put the 1 there. You don't have to. 1 times 5x is just 5x. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So I'm done doing all my multiplication. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine everything and write it out as for my final answer. So x to the 4th goes first. Then I'm going to combine the 5x cubed with the 4x cubed. That's going to give me 9x cubed. Now I'm going to combine the 2x squared with the 20x squared with the 1x squared. So 1 plus 20 is 21, minus 2 is 19. So we have positive 19x squared. Now I'm going to combine the positive 5x with the negative 8x. That gives me negative 3x. And then at the very end, I have this 2 right here. So I'm just going to put minus 2. And this right here is my final answer. So I have a long polynomial for this one with 5 terms. All right, now it's your turn to go ahead and do some practice. Go ahead and work on pages 3 and 4 on your practice assignment. Good luck.